Okay, if you clicked on this video and you're wondering what is the Phantom,
who is Phantom,
and who is the Phantom, if you saw the thumbnail and you're wondering like, who is this dude in the purple suit on a white horse in the middle of a jungle? What is this all about? Listen, we were wondering pretty much the same thing, at least I was when I was a kid, because I saw the VHS tape.
I think we actually had a copy of the copy.
I don't think we had a copy, but I think we
saw it somewhere. They printed them somewhere.
No, dude, we borrowed this movie so many times.
That we did.
And we've watched it so many times. It pretty much feels as if we've pretty much made the movie, not just seen it. And listen.
Well, I do not feel like I made the movie. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Well, listen, if I was making the movie, you know, I mean, I would have pretty much done the same thing, pretty much.
Back in the 90s, man, there was phantoms, there was shadows, there was all kinds.
Yeah, there was Batmans and Robins, and listen.
Shadow was cool, though.
And we might eventually do a review for that movie. Yeah, definitely. And we rewatched The Phantom recently just for this review alone, because
it's like, let's review this. I'm like, I did not watch this. It's like the 90s. I haven't seen it for like 20 years.
Yeah,
let's do it.
And when I was watching it, some scenes. I remember some scenes.
First thing I want to say. 2018, we watched this movie, and it still holds up.
Not many movies can stay.
Like, it's still a great. And I had the same thing when I was watching Shadow. Also, not even a month ago, a couple of weeks ago. I rewatched Shadow. It was like,
it'll be a month ago by this time this video is posted, so whatever.
And it was like, it's still a good movie. Like, this is a movie that's made in like 96 or whatever.
95, 96, yeah.
And it's a still movie that you can watch, and it's still
enjoy.
Enjoy, yeah.
Yeah, enjoy.
Like, it did not lose. Like, you can see certain times, like, you can place it in the 90s. You can't go wrong with that one.
And don't get us wrong. This movie is set in 1930s. Okay, don't get us wrong. And
but it was made in 1990.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons I think this movie still holds up, is because it's a period piece. It's set in a certain period of time that deviates so much from the time that was made in, and there was not like, there's like a few effects, but they're special effects. They're not visual effects. There's nothing visual. Like, visually, this movie was made in a certain era, in a certain period, and it stays there the whole time.
Look, it's 1937, I think 6, 7, something like that. And you actually see it. It's still, like, even now, 20 years later, when we're rewatching it, it's still the same thing. It's still in the 1930s, so you did not lose anything from there.
Yeah, like, the only thing that's that would be campy about this movie is a guy in a purple suit on a white horse in the jungle. Like, that's the only thing that...
But here's the thing.
Even in real...
it might seem like an abstract thing in 2018.
Definitely. Even in the 90s it was kind of abstract.
But if I'm thinking about a dude in a purple suit on a white horse in 1930s, I'm like, yeah, I'll go for that. Like, if there's a Tarzan, I'm alright with Phantom, man.
And the Phantom is, listen, like, the one thing I like about this movie a lot is they give you an origin story right there at the beginning of the movie. They simply tell you about the legend and the pirates and the shipwreck and the Indians. I mean, not the Indians, but the tribe.
Basically, the title of Phantom has been carried on from generation to generation for about 4 centuries.
Something like that, yeah.
And we're caught up with the current Phantom, who has to deal with...
Who's been a Phantom for 6 years, and has to deal with a lot of stuff. And there are these weapons of mass destruction, so to speak, that get tied into the pirate. They are tied to the pirate lore and the Phantom lore even, and we don't realize that until the very end of the movie, which is kind of a spoiler, but whatever. If you haven't seen the movie so far, you should go and watch it because it's a fun movie.
Like you said, it's a period piece. So it doesn't lose any of its lackluster, I guess.
Yeah, and
you can still watch. You can still enjoy it. It's still a fun movie. The actors in it. I mean, you have Billy Zane. You have
Billy Zane prior to
the Titanic.
Treat
Williams, the girl.
I don't know who the actress is. There's Catherine Zeta-Jones. But she's like a side character. She's not even the main character. Like,
she's in latex, and it's not in. I'm not saying anymore. You should get the point by now. you know, so it's a great movie. It's a fun movie. Yeah, definitely can enjoy it.
And it's a movie that we grew up on, and I'm glad. Listen, we went into this rewatch with a clear head. We didn't expect anything. Like, we expected to see a good movie, and it didn't disappoint. The explosions, the humor in some of these scenes, and that guy, what's his name? That was that's in Black Lightning now.
I didn't watch Black Lightning yet.
The white guy that I told you about, like, he's like, in the first scene he's driving a truck, and I mean,
yeah, I know
like the whole thing with the truck and going over the bridge was like so fun to watch. And
even though you remember that scene from the first time you watched it, it's still fun to watch.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other funny scenes with the pirates later on, and with Phantom going into New York and the whole New York thing, and it was like, oh man, this guy's gonna, and yeah, stuff happens, like, don't trust Treat Williams, like, he's a full-fledged, like, 1930s villain, but he's smart about it. And that's also what's good about this movie. Like, you have a great villain, and a great hero, and side characters, and
everything comes together nicely.
Definitely, man. There's cool explosions in this movie. They're not Michael Bay level.
The taxi driver is fun.
Dude, the taxi driver is the best part, one of the best parts of this movie. You don't see that New York anymore in movies anymore, okay?
Yeah, it's like, he just gave me a fistful of diamonds. Yeah, I'll drive you around, no worries.
Precious stones.
And when a dude shows up in a purple suit and says he's your friend, I'm gonna drive him around too. You know, just because he's your friend.
Because he tells it like...
It's like...
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It really is. It's not overly...
it's not over the top.
Yeah.
It's not overly over the top.
No point. Because, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
You want to rate it?
I'm giving it a 20 out of 30, man. I can go lower and I can go higher because...
21!
21,
21,
okay.
yeah, it's fun. Listen, we enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed it. You probably will too. Listen, just go into it with an open mind and, you know.
And you will enjoy the trip.
Yeah. That's it from us. Until next time.
Bash Bros out.